Hey guys, what's up? This is Cody Miller coming at you with yet again another video. Back in 2009, I uploaded a video called The World's Cheapest Netbook Review. And at the time, it was about a $100 no-name Chinese laptop that you could get for $100 if you were willing to wait for about a month and a half for it to ship from China. At the time, that was the cheapest computing device that I was aware of that you could purchase new. And it was pretty much awful. But that was back in 2009. So, what does late 2017 have to offer us? Enter the Walmart special RCA Voyager 3 tablet. This is a $50 tablet. Approximately $52.86 after taxes. So this is pretty much half the cost of the $100 netbook that I reviewed several years ago. 7-inch multi-touch IPS display, 1024 by 600 HD resolution. Technically that is not HD, but we'll go ahead and let it slide for $50. It's running Android 6.0, which is a little old at this time, but again, we'll let it slide for $50. 16 gigabytes of internal storage, has a front and rear camera, and a 6-hour battery life. Well, let's go ahead and look at what we actually get for $52. We get a odd charging cable. This is not over USB, which is weird, but I guess they were literally trying to cut every cent out of the power adapter as possible. I guess an interesting thing would be is if it could actually charge over USB, if it has one on it. Okay, so it does have micro USB and DC 5 volt. That's interesting. And the device itself, as well as some silica gel. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look here. So we got, I guess these are our volume rockers. I guess this is our charging port, a micro USB, a headphone jack. I assume this is our power port. Go ahead and see if it'll power on. Oh, yeah. There she goes. We got some numbers on the bottom. Nothing really on the sides or on the top. The back we do have a camera, as well as a speaker, which I'm going to say probably sounds pretty terrible. Well, I guess here's our micro SD expansion slot. Oh, that's interesting. So I guess it requires an activation code printed on the sales receipts. 75. Cool. Very interesting stock icons. Cannot tell that this is a Walmart exclusive device at all. Wow. Hi. Alright, so on this channel I talk about a lot of games. So what's gaming like on this device? Well, don't expect to run anything too graphically intensive. However, your lighter games like Fallout Shelter run just fine. Loading times are a little slow, but so long as you have the patience, most games run just fine. Games like Candy Crush Saga, of course, run without any problems, and even Stranger Things the game is playable on this device. However, it does have quite a few graphical glitches, and loading times are absurdly slow. That doesn't actually affect the gameplay, and still manages to be quite acceptable. The screen itself isn't that bad, and it does have some pretty good viewing angles. Way better than I would expect for $50, especially when you compare it to the $100 netbook that I bought a couple of years ago. The touchscreen itself is nice and responsive. Web browsing itself isn't that bad, and I would rate as completely usable. However, from time to time I have noticed that it has a trouble with very large resolution files, but that's not going to be a problem most of the time. High definition YouTube playback seems to work just fine, and can even still handle some limited multitasking just fine. As for the internal audio, well, the single rear firing speaker doesn't sound that great, but I mean, it'll get the job done. Worst case scenario, you still have the headphone jack. which is more than some phones have these days. As for the front-facing camera, it's not something I would recommend Skyping your future fiancé with. However, if you put it into mono mode, it doesn't look quite as bad, and you might be able to get away with it. The rear-facing camera isn't really anything to write home about either, and I would put it on par with phones from about 6 or 7 years ago. Battery life does seem a little close to the 6-hour advertised time, which I'm quite happy with. It definitely gets the job done, so not really too much to complain about there. In all honesty, if you're looking for a cheap, practically disposable tablet, then this definitely fits in that range. Either way, it's pretty exciting to see where computing is going these days, seeing as just a couple years ago, the best thing you could buy for $100, computing-wise, was completely inferior to what this is today for half its price. The fact that you can even buy a tablet for $50 is pretty insane. On a side note, I did find that you can charge it over the micro USB, so I'm not entirely sure why this oddball connector was even included in the first place. But, I mean, it does charge it, so I guess you can't really complain about that. So if charging it in the car was something that was on your mind, well, a regular USB, especially seeing as the one included is only a 1 amp charger. So that's pretty much any cheap power block that you're going to have for a car these days. Well guys, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a good one.